This is more about why I brought it up to 99.94%. The people primates suffering from HsD at levels that make them incapable of manifesting sentience and sapience, and therefore playing a part in solutions instead of being part of the problem. So, and I don't want to always trash the same fast food, and I'm actually backed up on posting about that subject. Young lady there was able to have conversations with me from a country where I didn't post the part 2 recently, and she's nice and she's making an effort to take my order correctly, but like a lot of people that might train her, even though there's buttons for things, if it's out of the ordinary, it's the effort's not going to be made, so they'll just put ask me, stop, ask me, which means somebody else needs to talk to me, or they got to repeat, but then there's another customer, they don't get a chance to do the ask me thing. And yet she made a good effort to, this Korean young woman, to understand what I was trying to say with my order. Then the manager comes, oh, is it you that, yeah. So, and then I repeat again. And then within a minute, they hand me the bag. And it's 2 cold burgers that I had asked, well done or extra cooked or whatever. He pretty much just put a little bit more sauce in one of them, which was the second instruction. So communicating at human levels wasn't even happening when I was in elementary school with my species. And it's gotten worse, and it's easy to demonstrate these developmental disabilities. And this week it's easy to demonstrate with the public servants that work for the BC Ministry of Poverty Creation. I'm posting some of these conversations between us, and they are not at human levels. And they're getting worse in a measurable rate during my lifetime, like my theory has been talking about, and I've been delivering the data to you about. I'm pretty sure if I sat in COP27 and I heard somebody say something and then I heard somebody respond to them, it would also be that this is not a conversation at a human level. There's still developmental disabilities with the people that got invited there, sometimes as special intelligent guests who can't communicate at human levels, wearing super expensive suits. And you want to blame, the oil companies to pay everything, and they should, but they shouldn't be the only ones. It should be fast food restaurants, it should be politicians who really didn't have the altruism to serve the public, but that accept their paychecks. It should be, millionaires you think are going to invent technology to save you. They're not. Like one thing, I didn't read the article, but there's a title, and it almost suggests something funny that, funny, not really funny, but some of the nations that are suffering the most from climate emergency is that, okay, maybe they'll do a referendum and maybe 80% of them would like to have their consciousness uploaded to computers now because, it's not budging, right? Things are not moving to catch up to these issues, except we don't have that technology. And even if we did, nobody would step up to pay for it. So it's not a question of technology. It's a question of accountability and a question of fighting your own intellectual laziness as each individual and talking about the right things, which is at the root of everything, is your flaws as a species in your thinking patterns, which is getting worse. And yet you keep meeting in these COP27, you keep repeating every generation the same thing. There's more and more of the younger people doing it now because the old people can't deviate from the norm because of HsD. And the young people are the only ones fighting for their future because their parents and grandparents won't do it. They still think a miracle will happen somehow. And they think a scientist saying something somewhere that can be bought is what to stand aside from accountability and keep doing the impunity and just business as usual. So I don't even think that the people primates that use language can communicate efficiently, and I certainly don't think you understand the concept of the Anthropocene and what it means not just to your species but life on this planet, and how it is all of you creating it, not just oil companies. Like for example, listen to what your bodies are telling you. Listen to what your common sense, your gut is telling you. Like, I'm chewing food from the fast food, right? And then there's a few things in each burger that's like, the wisdom of my body chewing on this is like, this is not a texture that I just bit into that has any, from deep in my brain, associations to food, right? Something that it'll provide nourishment. And I know this, I'm sensing this, and I'm doing it because I'm waiting for the laundry, and I haven't done it for a while, and that's what I need to do. And when you're poor, you don't get to grow your own food, or you don't get to drive somewhere for the healthier food, and this is like people that want to apply solutions. So your systems are so corrupt that you can't even apply them, even if you had them. Again, it goes back to this. If this failed, you'll never have healthy communities, and you'll never stop raping your own mother's womb, the planet.